Okay, so I found out pretty much that creating your own designs to make these shop signs is maybe not so easy. I mean, some of the signs I've made have come out pretty decent. Some have really not come out pretty decent. But at the very least, each sign has been a learning experience for me, which is good. So now I finally managed to come up with a sign design, and I'm pretty happy with it. I call it the heritage sign. What is up, everyone? Welcome to the channel and welcome to our humble shop. My name is Roy from Stonecress Designs, and in this video, we'll be making one of our new heritage signs from start to finish. Now, it's not that difficult, so let's get started. Okay, usually to get started on one of these signs, we just open up our laptop and jump right into LightBurn. This sign is a little bit different. I mean, it took me nearly 3 months just to get the design the way that I wanted it. Maybe I spent a bit too much time on the design, but I wanted to check a few boxes with this one. Now, I love steampunk, machine age, Victorian style signage. I can't really reproduce it with a CO2 laser, but I wanted the sign to reach back to that genre and sort of pay its respects. Now, because it's the first sign design that we're actually selling online, I wanted folks to be able to personalize the sign the way that they wanted it. Now, there are 7 different ways to personalize this sign. First, business name. This could be real or imagined. It's done up in the old style letters right at the top of the sign. Second is location. Third is year established. 2 of those on the left and the right. And then we've got the accent color. Now, this is the color that goes around the perimeter of the sign and also highlights the main business name lettering. Next up is business type. This could be a bar and grill, automotive speed shop, whatever the sign pertains to. Next is your slogan. This could be for a bar, it might be it's 5 o'clock somewhere. For a service-based business, it might be built on integrity. Last but not least is the porthole art. And this is absolutely my favorite part of the sign. What folks can do is they can upload an image that means something to them. We burn it on birch and put it right in the middle of the sign for all to see. So now we head into LightBurn to get this project started. This sign's being made for a client who just happens to be my uncle and owns a wood shop in Maine. The name of his shop is Genesis Woodworking. He makes a lot of wood products, including this turned segmented bowl, which we currently display in our own living room. So Uncle Alan, this one's for you. Here in LightBurn, you can see our design is just about ready to go. I created a simple template to get here, and it allows me to easily swap out personalization wherever I may need. The real work is creating the image and getting it into LightBurn as an SVG so we can cut it. All right, there are several ways to create a design image for our purposes. One, you can become an expert at Adobe Illustrator or Inkscape. 2, you could use OpenAI to create an image and then import it into LightBurn. 3, you could use Leonardo or a similar program to do the same thing. 4, you can create an image in Canva and then import it into LightBurn, then edit your brains out. There's probably a lot I missed here, and you'll have to edit in LightBurn for most of these using line trace to vector. I'll link all I can find into the description, and no, I'm not affiliated with any of these programs. All right, we've already cut our base for this sign and scored our second layer, leaving space for our porthole engraving. Now it's time to cut the third layer and start dry fitting the pieces. So our dry fitting came out pretty great. Now the reason we dry fit these signs is to make sure everything fits tight and to scale. Next, we're going to paint every component of this sign, and in the meantime, create our center engraving. Now there's a bit of a story behind our center engraving. My Uncle Al's great-great-great-grandfather built a home out of stone back in the 1800s. Now it's that stone house that inspired my uncle to start his business. Now my uncle sent me a picture of the original home, which I converted into a sketch. Now I've already treated the birch with borax and uploaded the sketch into LightBurn. So now we're ready to engrave. Our engraving came out nice and dark, which is exactly the way we like it. We sealed it up with some lacquer, and now it's ready to be bonded into our sign. Meanwhile, we painted every other aspect of the sign, from the base right down to the lettering. Our painting process is very simple. We use UV-resistant acrylic paints for all of our signs. We then seal each one with a water guard and a coat of lacquer. Now, we're not making waterproof signs here, but I like to think that our signs can resist just a bit of moisture. Our paint tools are mini rollers, paper plates, and sandwich bags. No, we're not ready to have lunch. We put some paint on the plate, roll it onto the roller, and roll that onto the sign. Cleanup is simply storing the wet roller into a tightly tied up storage bag. As a side note, these used rollers will keep for weeks, coming out of the bag, ready to paint. Now with everything painted and engraved, we can move into final assembly and bonding of our sign. And with all that, we're essentially done making our heritage sign. So let's recap. If you want to make a sign like this, the first thing you have to do is come up with a design. Now you could use any source to come up with an image, or you can work directly in software such as Adobe or Inkscape. Personally, I've just started to learn Inkscape. It's not too difficult. I have a learning curve, and I made my very own circle for the first time ever. Moving on. Now, once you're happy with your design, you need to import it into LightBurn so it can be cut. When you're done editing in LightBurn, you should have several layers to cut. In our case, we had the base, second, and third layers. Then once everything was cut and removed from the machine, we did what's known as a dry fitting. I'm not sure if it's known as a dry fitting, but that's what we're going to call it. And the reason we do a dry fitting is to just ensure that all the pieces fit together perfectly and nothing has been knocked out of scale. Now the final steps are simple: paint, assembly, and sealing. Now here's our sign freshly out of the paint booth. I think it looks pretty good. All right, guys, that's going to wrap this one up. We'll get this sign packaged and shipped out to my Uncle Alan in Maine and get to work on our next project. Once again, my name is Roy from Stonecress Designs. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you in the next one. Okay, usually to get started. All right, let's try this again. Testing on.